are really scared of missing out on these legendary 5Ds decks, aren't you? Make sure you guys smash the living crap out of that subscribe button, and Kongs does have a few singles up and in between here on the legendary 5Ds decks. As you can see, a few of them are sold out in between, but I mean, that was bound to happen because people were wanting this stuff. But for the stuff that's still in stock, and with their major restock on the quarter century stuff, discount code MCO40 will save you on your purchase. So let's talk about the state of legendary 5Ds decks coming to good old North America here. So this set drops this Friday. Set is massively requested, but you're going to notice something. We bought them down to like $34. And that was the point I was like, you know, you may as well pick them up because it eats shipping. You know, you get them hand delivered to your door. But what's ended up happening here over the last couple of days, to my emphasis and knowledge, is we've hit $39.29 a product for these. Now, you'll be able to get these at your local Walmart, at, you know, your locals. Everybody's going to have them. Keep in mind, Walmart does have a new purchase limit of 5 items per. So I don't really think that you're going to see these getting wrecked off of the shelf. All right, there will be enough time for you to go pick these up. But right now, what's happening is, you know, this product is very, very popular. You know, it's literally being destroyed off the shelves. It is some insanely good value for what the product actually is. Now, as I said, Kongs does have singles up, but you also do get to see how our singles doing on the TCG player pre-sale. Well, $11, $9, and $9 on the mulch armies. Ashes are riding at 2s. Does look like the Black Rose Dragons. If you are, you know, wanting to pick up the nice little secret rare versions of these, I think that this was a great place to put these. And also, I mean, $3.75. I mean, people, they're not great at selling, but you know, this set's definitely one that you open up, single out over time. There's your Garden Rose Maiden still rolling in at $3.50 a piece. You know, Full Speed Warrior at 3s, Droplets at 3s. I do think that you will see a little bit of a counterbalance here with some of this stuff, but not only did new cards come in, Stardust coming in at $3.50, and you start to see, you know, staples being dollars. Is not all that surprising. The Junk Warrior Extreme, $2.50, and then of course you have the Blackwing Dragon coming in at about the $3 mark, and then of course it's just the pre-sale game of how much money can we get. And also we have an official Akiza token. Again, the last Akiza token did some dirty things on the secondary market. Wasn't happy. $2 crossouts feels a bit much. Crow token $1.50. As we dig through here more and more. Yeah, it's kind of crazy to me. Good old Crimson Dragon's $1.30 now. Tuning Commons are dollars. I do think a lot of this is going to come down, but emphasis on the long term here, people. There are a lot of good things in here that are going to be very, very, very good on the secondary market, and I do very much look forward to seeing how this set's going to go. Just each of these mulch armies alone pretty much pays for the product, and that's a crazy thing to think about. All right, so yesterday I talked about dear old number 99 Utopic Dragon, and I still find this card to be an abnormality because, once again, 23 listings on this, and you're basically selling out at like $6 a piece. Now, in terms of, you know, how much do we actually have selling here? You have one fairly recently, but outside of that, they move in between kind of slowly. But then you come down here to the Megaton version, 31 listings, moving at about $5 to $6 a copy after shipping. You definitely see an interesting emphasis on, you know, just kind of what's rotating in with the bits and pieces for this. So I do find it interesting just to kind of see, you know, long-term shiftability and so forth. Now, canine cards. So we know that the sneak peek card coming down off the top is going to be a canine monster, as you hear the things crushing on the outside here. there is a pretty big emphasis on the state of canine cards going forward into, future list here. Norois are still 110 and cruising. Izuna's coming in at 50s. Boxes of Justice Hunters down to 49s. Your Izuna's down to 30s for collector's rares. Joe Cools from the OTS pack are 40s. Case of the Canines, you're down to $25. The Ripper CR's 22s. Noroi's down to 23s. He's done a pretty good job at holding. But then you come down here to this. This is where the craziness is. Izuna's are $13 a copy right now. And it's crazy to me because this card is absolutely broken. It is one of the best modern day cards that we have seen in just honestly a very, very long time in general. But what we are just unfortunately seeing right now is just a lot of, shifting away in the meta, a lot of fear of this card getting hit in the future. And, I'm not surprised to really see the drop. Infernoid cards. I got to talk about these every single time I can because the final Shadal card is tomorrow. All right, we don't know what that final Shadal card is going to do. The only thing that we know is they bridged the lore with Void and Infernoid and Shadal. And they are now one big happy possibility of future support. So right now, 50s on Decatrons. Evils, we're down to 10 listings. Crazy to me to see both of these are in such short supply. But then you just jump down here, and everything beyond that just is very well populated. 59. I guess it's not true. Anaku or Deviati's QCRs are at $6 a piece. So does look like there is a little bit of an uptick there. That's kind of interesting. Quarter centuries will be doing what quarter centuries do best, and it is just kind of popping off and kind of doing stupid increases for no reason. Everything in the Noid department, minus Evil, is doing pretty well. Same thing out here with all the Void stuff, man. Void Apocalypse, still $3. Card definitely could use a solid reprint. There's your dollar copies of that. Yeah, Void Seer. I still can't believe I got that card bought off of me. Void Vanishment, still floating around. Yeah, Eye of the Void also was another one that people were kind of picking up. I don't know why, but the rest of this Void stuff's very, very cheap. Hilarious penny stonks, actually. So, Peaceful Planet Calarium quarter centuries are $1. That's right, people. I know someday we will have to return back to the Vice's Starfrost lore and Manadeum, which, by the way, this lore doesn't even feel like... It feels like a fever dream for what it was, but truth be told, it just... It caused too much power creep within the game. I mean, you had, Tyr, Kashtira, which were just two of the biggest powerhouses. And, we exist in a time now where, I don't know, man, this is kind of an interesting little takeaway. So, beware, Box Ghost. First Ed Rhodas, you get a PSA 8 here for $33, which is not bad. Looks like $38 on the other near mint. Blade Knights from Legendary Collection 25th Anniversary Kaiba. These are actually pretty cheap. $17 to $18 with $23 on the back end. Kind of growing. And then, of course, Denko Sekkas. I just wanted to toss this back in because keeping an eye on Denko is one of my favorite things. If for a card that literally just tells the Draco Tail player to get good, these are all cheap. I love that your most expensive print is 32 cents. Good. And then your PSA interesting card of the day. You can get a Dancing Elf PSA 8 right now for $50 whole on bidding. Ends in a little bit of time. I don't really think that this is going to clear too many of the check marks here, but you never know, man. Yu-Gi-Oh! Is it's an interesting collector's game, I will say, to say the least. So what do you guys think about today's market? Please, comment down below, tell me what you guys think, and I will see your beautiful faces back here later today, guys. patrons. Thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.